Hi there, welcome to today's video over here. Okay, for today's session, we'll be covering on euro dollar, pound dollar, and the Aussie dollar. Okay, so let's get start up with the euro dollar over here. Now, from a daily time frame perspective, what we're seeing over here is a very clear pattern. We have a little bit of impulse, right? And following that, we do have a three-wave correction pattern, which suggests to us that there's a higher probability that the direction we want to focus is to the downside, all the way back to its previous low, somewhere around 1.1185. Okay, and if you start to go down to the lower time frame on a forward time frame, okay, we do see that the pattern seems to be lacking a little bit of momentum to the downside as of now. Okay, so what I would suggest is, at least for the short term, we are seeing a little bit of a crawish pattern. Okay, and this suggests that there might be a short-term relief bounce back higher first before maybe the eventual longer term downside. Okay, so my view and my perspective over here is that overall, if you're looking at euro dollar, you want to be focusing on the downside, at least from a daily time frame perspective. But from a forward time frame, from a shorter time frame perspective, maybe we might see a little bit of a bounce back first. Okay, in other words, you want to be patient. Okay, if you're looking at a longer term swing trade, you want to be patient for any potential sell setup. If you're maybe looking at intraday short term, then maybe some upside, okay, profit potential for you to look out for. Okay, so one level that you want to keep a close watch is, at least for the intermediate short-term level here, is 1.1365. Right, so if you're looking for a buy, then you want to keep a target around that zone. If you're looking for a longer term sell, then maybe wait for the market to come out a little bit towards this zone here before you look for another sell. Now, another pair is on pound dollar. Okay, so pound dollar recently had a little bit of what we know as a V-shaped formation, right? Basically, the market impulse pushes up and then instantly rejection from the top as well with a strong momentum. Okay, now from a daily time frame, if you start to see impulses like that, we don't really touch it. Okay, but of course, this tells us that the momentum, at least for now, is to the downside. Okay, so going down to the forward time frame, I would say that you want to primarily focus on sell opportunity. Okay, of course, depending on whatever strategy that you're going to be deploying. The idea here is you want to focus on the downside with potential target back towards some of the previous low over here at 1.3185. Okay, so the momentum is down. The direction, I believe, is rather clear. You definitely want to focus on the downside, right? But of course, you need to take note that with such a strong impulse push, the correction or the pullback might be deeper, or it might take a little bit more time for it to develop, right? Which you might experience a little bit of a consolidation from here. But as of now, the momentum is down. Therefore, the direction you want to focus is naturally downside. Okay. Another one here that we're going to cover for this video is on Aussie dollar. Okay, so on the daily time frame, this is rather clear cut and similar to the euro. Okay, you kind of see this pattern here. I think it's very obvious. We do have a push to the downside. Okay, following that, we do have this little flag here, and therefore the direction that we're gonna focus on a higher probability is definitely on the downside, right? And the target for this is potentially back towards 0.7, I would say, even number, okay, which is where the previous daily low is. Now, on the forward scale, the idea here is, as long as the market is able to maintain, I would say we can start to bring this down. The market is able to maintain below this little high at 7277. Okay, then we definitely can expect more downside from here. Okay, and again, depending on whatever strategy that you're using to execute and enter a market, the suggested target you look up for is at this low. Okay, at this low over here, which is somewhere around 0.7. Okay, so the direction for euro dollar and Aussie dollar is rather clear. Overall, you want to focus on the downside. Okay, but for euro dollar, as I mentioned, short term, there might be some relief bounce to the upside. Okay, so if you're looking at intraday, perhaps a little bit of scalping, you can look for upside on the euro dollar. Right. So that's all from me for this video over here. Hope it gives you some clarity, and as usual, general reminder, if you're actively trading the market, make sure to manage your risk accordingly. Right. So the best, and I'll see you guys in the next video.